So this is not normally how I start out a knife review.
In the kitchen, doing some cooking. Normally I'm outside, outdoors, working on a survival knife, but this is the little Opinel number 8 carbon steel little folding knife. Maybe you'd call it a peasant knife. And I just wanted to do a review on this knife, an indoor review. I'll probably do an outdoor review coming up soon. But right now I'm just using it in the process of making some garlic mojo. And what that is, if you don't know, basically what I'm doing is I'm going to be roasting a bunch of garlic, and then I'm going to be submersing it for about 40 minutes at about 350 in the oven in a garlic bath. So it needs to be submersed after it's been roasted, submerge it, and then I'm going to be putting about a cup of lime juice into that mixture. Of course, I'm going to have peeled the skins off the garlic here before I put it in the olive oil bath. And then what's going to happen is the olive oil is going to drive that lime juice into the garlic. And then I'm going to mash the garlic up. And you're not going to use all the olive oil. You know, you have some really delicious olive oil that's flavored with a hint of lime juice, but basically primarily garlic. But what I'm primarily wanting to get, my goal is to get the garlic out of that olive oil bath. And now I'm going to use that as garnish on our tacos, because my wife and our families are getting together and we're going to be having a taco night. So that's what I'm doing here as I am using the Opinel number 8 little carbon steel blade. I'm using just regular food prep, and I think this is a great use for this knife. It has such a fine little tip, very fine, and I really like that. Here's my EDC knife, my Benchmade Griptilian, and you can see how much thicker the Benchmade's blade is there. But for food prep and maybe skinning game or preparing food, preparing meat, whether that's indoors or outdoors on a camping trip, I think this little Opinel knife, Opinel, is a great little tool for around 12 bucks. And I actually have not locked the collar there, but you can actually lock the collar so the blade can't fold, close it like so, and then it locks so it can't open on you. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to get it out. That may be because the wood is swollen up a little bit, or maybe you're just having a hard time getting your fingers in there. So you can just go like this, and that just pops the blade out just enough, okay? You may have seen me do that at the beginning of this video. So there you go. Opinel number 8. And I prefer the carbon steel. That thin blade on this knife does an excellent job of cutting through food, in this case limes. Just, it almost feels like a serrated blade because it's so sharp, it's just really just sawing through. Some people are going to worry about the carbon steel, and of course they do make this knife, this exact knife, but in stainless steel. And if you want stainless steel, that's awesome. You know, it's great to have options. If this blade rusts a little bit or gets a patina, that's perfectly fine. Now, you know, if it has visible like red rust on it because you left it out in the rain or something, or you lost it and then found it later, I would clean that off. But some almost bluing of the blade is nothing to be worried about. And using it on citrus and other kind of acidic foods is just going to help speed that process up. And that's a natural process, and that's something you shouldn't be worried about, concerned about, or unhappy about when it happens. It's natural, and it's actually a good thing. So, of course, I'm going to clean this blade off here once I'm done, but it's okay if it patinas a little bit. It's actually a good thing. I'm just really impressed. You know, I'm cutting a lot of stuff here today as I'm preparing this food, and I have lots of other knives in this kitchen I could be using. A lot of knives that are more expensive than this $12 little folding knife. But this knife is doing everything I really need it to right now. And so if I need a bigger knife, I'll grab one here in the kitchen. But I'm going to try and do most of this, if not all this project, with this little Opinel knife as I prepare the tacos and finish the mojo sauce. I'm making homemade tacos. Just to see if I can do it all with this knife, because it's just a great option. For $12, you know, this is a really cost-effective cutting tool.
So the taco night was a success. The mojo sauce was delicious. And I really enjoyed using the Opinel number 8 or Opinel number 8 knife. And I just want to conclude my indoor review here by emphasizing the usefulness of this knife. It was very sharp out of box. I wouldn't have needed it any sharper. And I really like the way it looks. For instance, here I've got some cheese and some veggies here on this plate, and I like the way it looks. It looks a lot nicer than a polymer handled knife would. And so in the context here, depending on the situation and the kind of ambiance which you're trying to set, the Opinel number 8, or their entire line of knives, the very small ones, the significantly larger than the number 8, they have an old world fit, finish, feel, and look. And so I like that. It kind of complements this kind of a situation, this kind of a fruit plate or cheese plate that I'm setting up here. And so if you're looking for that for indoor cooking at $12, you know, very affordable, very useful, and a knife that I have really enjoyed using today, and one that I would highly recommend to you. However, if you're looking for an outdoor review, maybe more of a bushcrafting review, less of a cooking review, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel because that review on the Opinel number 8 is coming out soon. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. This is the Gear Tester signing off.